Let's talk about Bitcoin. What's up, guys? Major update here, of course. No time for filming on the beach or anything. I want to go straight into the charts. I've already been posting it over on Twitter. Bitcoin is breaking down. And I want to walk down the line because we have something coming up today. The most bearish monthly candle close, potentially in the history for Bitcoin. And for that, first thing that I want to look at, of course, something that we looked at a lot in the past, I'm talking about the green one, of course, the 50-month SMA. Let's track back the 50-month SMA and let's see how accurate of a bottom indicator for Bitcoin this moving average has been actually. So let's go back to all the way out to the beginning of that moving average to September, August 2014. And right after we can see back in 2015, this time actually extremely bearish for Bitcoin. The first time Bitcoin has fallen below the 200-week SMA and actually stayed below there 3-4 weeks before we got it back up. And as you can see, even though we fell below the 200-week SMA, we have still not fallen below the 50-month SMA. And that fact stayed true all the way throughout. Back in 2020 even, when we were so busy buying toilet paper and emptying ATMs and stuff, even then we didn't close below the 50-month SMA. You can see it here perfectly in line with the support of this ascending channel, which I come to in a second. And now, right now, we're sitting below the 50-month SMA. And the price of it right now is 21,293. That is the target price for us to close back above. Today, we have just about 12 hours left to close that candle, and therefore extremely unlikely that we get back above the 50-month SMA. And guys, you've seen it not for the first time here on my channel, many times in the past. That was one of the conditions, of course, as well, for Bitcoin to never fall below 17,500 ever again. As you know, 4 weeks or 3 weeks before we found the bottom at 17,500, I had called it already. You can see it in my previous videos. But then also I said, for that to be true, we need to get down to the Fibonacci retracement level, the main indicator that helped me to call the bottom for Bitcoin. And then we pull it up here from March 2020 all the way up to the 69K top. And there you can see it. We bounced right off the 78.6 right here and right around 17,500. So what I've been saying there is that every time we went down to the 50-month SMA as our bottom target and closed back above it, of course we wicked way down below it. And that's why I was saying we can get below the 50-month SMA here and then wick down to the 78.6 and bounce from there. Perfectly in line as well with the 60-month SMA. And there you can see March 2020, that was our exact bottom. So we're right in this region here right now. Hence my prediction that that will be the bottom for Bitcoin. But what we're not achieving now is one of the conditions that I put on the table for Bitcoin is to close back above the 50-month SMA. Now as I said, we have 12 hours left. We would have to rally 12% by 2 a.m. Central European time, which is my time. And that is, of course, very unlikely to happen, although not impossible. If that would be the case, then of course I would say there's nothing to argue with anymore. We're staying at 17,500. Bitcoin will never fall below that price again. But now what we got to see here is that very strong support area, very clearly visible here on the monthly chart, coming from the previous tops here of 2017, the 20K all-time high, of course, here, but on a closing basis, right around 14,000. And then, of course, as well in 2019, right around 10K. So that 10K to 14K region here, extremely strong support. Previous resistance, then turned here also into support. Now strong support again. Also in line here, the top level of that range, right around 14K. In line here with the support of this ascending channel coming here from the tops of 2017, the 20K top, and then the 65K top last year in April. And then here, of course, the bottoms back in 2019 and back in 2020, giving us here a nice ascending channel. And that would be perfect alignment also with the moving average here close by in that region. And considering the current market situations, we have to understand that we're going below a lot of moving averages that we haven't gone below before. Of course, Bitcoin will remain doing things that it has never done before, being such a young asset. And now we're coming to one more thing, of course, that assisted me to call the current bottom at 17,500, the main indicator that I already spoke about, the Fibonacci retracement here. Now we want to compare this to previous Fibonacci retracements where we go all the way to the bottom and to the top again. Let's do that and then look at the 78.6 there as well. All right, let's go to our very next instance then for that and go all the way to the bottom there. Take a Fibonacci retracement here, go to the bottom of 2015 and then take it all the way up here to our 2017 all-time high. And there we can see one thing. This is what I want to point out here. We went down to the 78.6, then stayed above the 50-month SMA, traded just below the 78.6. Let me just zoom that in for you guys. And there you can see it here on that candle. We stayed below the 78.6, and the moment we confirmed the candle below it, we started rallying here again. Let's see how often that happened historically. Right, going down to the bottom here in 2011 and taking it all the way up here to the November all-time high in 2013. And there we can see that something very similar happened once again. We came down here to the 78.6, then we lost it, traded just below it here, right around the 50-month SMA. Once we got back above here, confirmed with a green bullish candle above the previous candle closes, and above the 78.6, we started rallying here once again. So there you can see historically that was the second time that happened. And now let's see the only other time where we have a Fibonacci retracement to draw all the way from the bottom till a cycle top back here in 2010. By the way, guys, this is the index chart here from TradingView for Bitcoin USD, the chart that goes back the furthest all the way back to summer 2010. And there you can see it once again. From the bottom all the way to the top, the Fibonacci retracement fell below the 78.6, traded sideways below the 78.6, and the moment we closed the bullish candle back above it, we started rallying once again. So every single time in the history when we put in new all-time highs, when we take the retracement all the way from the bottom of where we started the rally to the all-time high, every single time we ended up falling below the 78.6 of that retracement and traded sideways below that, right in the area of the 50-month SMA. And once we got back up above the 78.6, this is when we started rallying again and put in new all-time highs. So what does that mean for Bitcoin now and its bottom? And guys, I don't want to focus on any time frames of how long this can take, how long can we trade here. I want to focus on the bottom price with this video. And for that, I already spoke about the region. We now have officially, not officially yet, but in a few hours, we officially close below the 50-month SMA for the very first time. And therefore, I'm telling you, we are here still in this very strong ascending channel that's of course been forming here for over 5 years now. So extremely strong support in line here with this very strong previous resistance area where we could definitely find a bounce as well. One thing is clear though, from a moving average perspective, Bitcoin is doing things that it has never done before. And now we also look like we're going to close below the 50-month SMA for the very first time. Therefore, we can expect further downside for the Bitcoin price. And we have extremely strong support right here below us. And historically, we can see it here. It would make sense to get right into that region right here between 10K and 14K. Trade sideways here below 17,500 for a while, below the 78.6. And then once again, when we see a bullish candle closing above this key Fibonacci retracement level, the 78.6 here, this is when we can expect the next bull run and the next rally that's taking us to new all-time highs for Bitcoin. Now guys, I want to keep this short. I wanted to look at it just on the monthly chart. Of course, since we have such a huge monthly close that I've been talking about in all the previous weeks, that I've been telling you guys, keep your eyes on this. This is one event that could confirm the absolute bear market here for Bitcoin, while at the same time confirming that we have entered the bottom region, at least for Bitcoin. Now, of course, guys, I've said it before, 17,500 was my personal bottom that I anticipated weeks and months ago for Bitcoin. But nonetheless, these levels are on the table. I'm talking about the levels between 14K and 10K, another great buy opportunity for anyone who's in the position to buy more Bitcoin. And I don't want to put it on the table yet, but there's extremely strong and logical support even lower than that, right around 6,000, 7,000. But hey guys, don't worry about these levels yet. Don't worry about all the people talking about Bitcoin going to zero. Keep your eyes on the historic data, and here we can see it in the form of the Fibonacci retracement. Once again, here we see the retracement all the way from the bottom to the top, trading right below the 78.6, went on rallying from there. And we've done this every single time here as well, from the bottom to the top, trading just below the 78.6, started rallying from there. And again here, just below the 78.6, well, quite far below the 78.6. But you can see also one thing, the volatility, of course, over the years is going to become less. We had average drops from top to bottom. On average, the drop still is right around 85%. Every time Bitcoin put on a new all-time high, it then ended up dropping on average 85%. The very last drop has been right around 75% so far. So we got to keep in mind, we already now have one of the smallest drops after an all-time high that we've ever had, but we can easily drop another 10% from the top, right? If we get down to 10K, that would get us exactly to our average drop of right around 85%. So that is still possible for Bitcoin. Keep your eyes on that. And make sure to smash up the like button to help me out here. If you appreciate my content, we want to break the algorithm, and I rely on you guys to help me out to get more visibility here over on YouTube. And of course, smash up the subscribe button as well while you're at it. Hit the notification bell to get notified whenever I update the Bitcoin price, no matter where the market is going, up, down, or sideways. I'm going to stick to the computer. I'm going to keep my eyes on the charts. Make sure to follow me over on Twitter as well. I'll post over there if anything happens here. And guys, keep your eyes open. I'm going to bring out a video where we'll be talking about some of the scams and all the bad stuff that's going on in the market. Now guys, as always, happy trading and see you very soon.